Two-time U.S. Open 9-ball champion. Dynamite, Darren Appleton.
I came from the mud.
Looks good. Looks good. It is good.
Most important one was winning the World 10-ball championship, because it's everyone's dream to be world champion.
Couldn't go into the edge of this.
I'm a grinder, fighter, play with a lot of emotion, a lot of art. Hello guys, welcome back. Today something a little bit different. We're going to go over in what is probably one of the most talked about matches, one of the most talked about shots or even racks in the history of the game. It's the one shot what everyone really wants to speak to me about, how I was feeling, how I managed to scrape over the line, and that is the 2012 World 9-ball Championship final against Li Yuhen from China, great player from China. It was live in Doha, Qatar, and in the Middle East, and the match had everything. I was leading 11-3, playing great. Made a couple of little silly mistakes. All of a sudden it's 12-6. I was leading 12-6. I was faced with this situation here. I've done all the work. I've just got to make the free, get on the pink 4, and I've won the match 13-6. No drama. Go home. No pressure, and nice comfortable victory. But no, I'll show you the shot what I played it in a minute. I end up, as always, make life difficult for myself, and we end up going to 12-12. So I'm going to recreate that particular rack when it was 12-12, and what caused all the drama, what the rack and the shot, what everyone wants to speak about, and for me the most important shot of my career, because if I would have lost that match, I'm not too sure I would have ever recovered from that, because you don't get too many opportunities to win the World 9-ball final. Anyway, let's go over this one shot first, and then we'll recreate the rack, what really probably defined my career. Right, before we go to the final rack, the Hill rack, this is the rack what really created all the drama, because I've made a ball on the break. The score's 12-6, thinking, right, this is your chance. Let's finish the match. I'd just won the previous rack from 11-6 to go 12-6. A nice break. Made the 1 and the 2 ball. And here I am on the free ball. I've just got to make the free ball, draw back a couple of feet, and then just play 4 stop shots. Game over. Nice, easy night. 13-6. No stress, no big pressure. And I'm world champion. But no, I don't like to make life easy for myself. I've ended up, the adrenaline got the better of me. What I do remember is this table been really, really quick. I've ended up making the free and drawing the cue ball here, which is like unbelievable mistake. And it was just pure adrenaline what got me. And yeah, tried to kick out the shot, hit the pink 4 and scratched it in the corner. All of a sudden then it's 12-7. I think he breaks and runs 12-8, 12-9. I've had to play a push out after the break. He's played a good safety, and then it's 12-9. He breaks, runs again, 12-10. And then now I'm starting to panic, and I'm thinking about all sorts of crazy things, thinking, what am I going to do if I lose this match? Yeah, so then it's just desperate to get over the line. And as usual, or in this situation, nothing comes easy anymore. And I never got a clear-cut opportunity again until 12-12, so obviously took a time out at 12-12, and I just remember saying to myself, I have to win this last rack. If I don't do anything ever again in my career, I have to win this rack, because I was telling myself, if I don't, I'm going to jump off the bridge, and I'm not too sure if I'm ever going to recover from this defeat, because with a World 9-ball, because the games, there's a hell of a lot of luck involved, and you get to the final 64 against all these great players, single elimination, you know a lot of things are going to go your way, and you're not going to get many chances to win the World 9-ball Championship. History has proven that. So when you get the chance, you have to take it with both hands. So there was all sorts of bad emotions going through me at 12-12. And anyway, what turned out to be the most important single rack of my life, and one of the most important, one of the most talked about racks, I think, in the history of the game. Anyway, let's rediscover it. Right, so this is the rack that everyone wants to speak about to me when they see me. Yeah, and probably the best shot and the most important shot I've ever played in my life. For difficulty level and any other situation, it's probably not the best shot or the most difficult shot I've ever made in my life, far from it. But under those circumstances, with that pressure and what's at stake and how I felt at that particular time and what I would have done if I'd have lost, I've no idea. This is by far the best shot of my career and the most important shot and the most pressure I've ever felt in my life. So I broke the balls at 12-12, didn't have an open shot, played a safety shot, he's played a little kick shot, snookered me, and this is what I'm left with. No real defense shot here, and not easy to hit if you're going to try and kick at it. So I'm thinking it's 12-12, I have to go for this, and I'm just trying to make the 2 in the side, come off the side rail with a cue ball, get shape on the 3. The rack's not easy, as you can see, the 6 doesn't pass the 8, so the 5 to the 6 is really the old rack. Once whoever gets that first opportunity, it's really going to be about the 5 to the 6. So anyway, this is what I'm faced with. This is the jump shot what I'm faced with. It's got a little angle on it. So from where the cue ball is now, the 2 is sort of facing to this point of the rail here. So when I'm cutting the 2 ball, if I play it like a normal jump shot where you're just hitting just below the cue ball or just low on the cue ball is going to come back this way, which is what I don't want to happen. Unless you're playing this shot really negative and you're thinking, oh, I might get safe. But in this situation, I'm thinking, right, I've got to make it. I've got to try and get shape on the 3 ball, and I've got to run out the rack. I don't want to let my opponent back to the table. So anyway, this is how I played the first shot. Right, so let's try and recreate this shot. So it's a nice little angle into the middle pocket, and you can imagine like I'm shaking like crazy now. But so to make this shot, obviously I don't want to jump the cue ball off the table or the object ball, so I've got to just get over the 9 ball, and I'm playing just eye on the cue ball because when I make contact with a 2, I want the cue ball to come out going forward, not coming backwards. So it's a very touchy-feely shot, but at that particular time I just trusted myself. It was a full ball snooker, but I don't have to go over the hole of the 9 ball. I'm basically jumping over maybe 3/4 of the 9 ball. Right, so let's give it a go. So try and line it up. It's nice and high on the cue ball. And what I'm doing there is that once I'm all set and I'm lined up, I'm keeping my eye on the cue ball and just trusting my stroke. And yeah, couldn't have really played it much better than that. Right, so after making the 2 ball, now my heart is really pounding because I'm thinking, right, this is an opportunity. And it's just hard to explain the pressure and how I was feeling at that time. But I've got like a little funny angle on the 3 ball here. If I was feeling, let's say, the 2nd or 3rd rack of the match and I'm feeling great, I might play this ball with follow and inside English and just come off the short rail here and just bring the cue ball down this way. But when you're under so much pressure, your hands are shaking, you can't feel your legs. The last thing I want to do is play with extreme right English on the shot, because then you're putting so much trust in your stroke. You're not too sure about the deflection, all that thing. So I'm thinking, right, make sure I make the 3 ball. I can't feel my arm, I'm shaking like crazy. So I'm thinking, make sure I make the 3 ball. So I decided when making the 3 ball, I'm going to come round the back of the 8 and the 6. And people will be wondering, and they still ask me now, did I play to kiss the 6 ball? And the answer is yes. The reason why, because when I come off this 2nd rail here, the cue ball's coming from this angle here, right? So when you think about that, so I'm coming from this angle to hit this rail to hit this 6 ball. So for me to come here and kiss that 6 ball and snooker myself behind the 6 to get shape on the 5, if I hit that 6 ball and I'm snookered, on the 5, I'd be very, in my opinion, coming from that angle, I would be very, very unlucky. I thought there was maybe a 20% chance of getting snookered behind the 6 ball. So I decided this is the percentage shot. Secondly, the reason why I did this is because it brings the 6 ball into play also, and it makes the shot from the 5 to the 6 a lot easier. So I knew if I get this shot right, then I'm 90% sure I can manage to get out from here. Anyway, let's play the 5 ball. I mean the 3 ball, sorry. So this is how I played the 3 ball. Come round the back of the 8. And just like that, that is more or less exactly how I played it. Right, so now I'm on the 5 ball and I'm in a situation now where it's just like the final little mini draw shot. So it's easy to butcher this shot, easy just to not bring the cue ball back, easy to miss the ball, especially under those circumstances. It's hard to explain the pressure. We all watch it on TV and we think, oh, it looks easy. Why has he missed this shot? Why has he dogged it? Why has the pressure got to him? And I've been one of those. I've judged it for, I cannot believe he's missed that ball. But when you're out there yourself, anything's possible. Anything's possible. It depends what it means to that person also. And just how the match evolves. Like my match here, if I would have been 12-6 down and come back to 12-12, I'd probably be feeling great. It's like a different type of pressure. But when you got 12-6 and you should have put the match, I should have been celebrating like 30 minutes before. So it's just hard to explain. The pressure just builds and builds and builds, and then you get to a situation where every shot now for me is like life and death situation. Right, so let's play the 5. So all I'm thinking about here on the 5 is make sure I put a good stroke on it and get past the side pocket. I don't want to be landing too short. So yeah, just thinking, just get anywhere near the side pocket. I'd have to be very, very unlucky to scratch in the side pocket from where I am now. So it's just make sure I draw the 5 back and stay down on the shot. Just like that. Right, so I've landed on the 6 ball. I landed close to the rail just here, and I got a slight angle on the 6 ball, which is good. I didn't want to be straight on the 6 ball, then I'd just have to drop that in pocket speed and leave quite a thin 7 ball. So I was thankful for this little angle here because I didn't get the cue ball off the rail like I would have liked from the 5. So I'm just off the rail, so I'm thinking, right, just put a good stroke on it. Don't play any English. I don't want to risk like doing anything silly by playing loads of left and trying to come here. So I'm thinking, right, just make sure you get out with a cue ball just like that there. And when I got on the 7 ball, actually I've left the 7 ball a little bit thinner than I wanted. Right, so we're on the 7 ball, and I actually landed a little bit funny. Because if I go forward, I'm going to kiss the 9 ball, and I don't want to get near the bottom rail with a cue ball. I can punch into the 9 ball, but I think I'm going to hit the top side of the 9. So I'm frightened that if I do that, the cue ball might draw off the 9 and into the side pocket, or even get stuck on the side rail. But I just didn't want to really kiss any balls and risk anything going wrong. I don't really like kissing balls unless I need to. So I'm thinking, right, I'm going to have to put a really nice loose stroke on this. And the big thing here is to make sure I stroke the cue ball, because if I get jabby, there's a good chance of miscuing, because I want to make sure I miss the 9 and get back out for the 8. So I'm just telling myself on this shot here, keep a nice loose grip, nice and loose grip, and make sure that I get through the cue ball. And more or less played it exactly just like that. I couldn't have really hit it any better under them circumstances. Right, so this is how I landed on the 8 ball. And even though now I'm thinking, right, just one good stroke. Obviously, the last thing I want to do is leave a tricky 9 ball. So I'm thinking, right, just put one good pure stroke on the ball. That's all I'm thinking now, one good stroke. My mindset is just play it with a trace of inside English. That just sort of suits my eye. And yeah, just commit to the shot and just trust what I'm doing. And more or less just like that. Got to the 9 ball, was actually a little bit easier than this, I believe. Maybe come a fraction further down. And yeah, so now I'm just so relieved now. The stress level's gone, the pressure's gone. I'm thinking I just can't believe that I'm about to be world champion. And I'm still shaking, but if I miss this ball, then after what's happened, then obviously it would have been a situation what I don't think I would have ever got over. So yeah, just make the 9 just like that, and then I just completely lost my mind just because of the emotion I'd gone through, the emotional roller coaster. How I don't think I would have ever got over it. Actually, what it meant to me also to be world champion, world 9 ball champion. I don't think what comes with it, you know what I mean? And so I just threw my cue on the floor, nearly broke it. I got lucky, sort of like did a couple of somersaults and landed in the corner and just propped up nicely. Then my emotions come out, jumped on the table. Not going to demonstrate that. And I just went crazy, really. And I just couldn't control my emotions. It was just an out-of-body experience. Yeah, so it ended up being like the greatest moment of my life, the most important under the circumstances, and it was that particular rack. Yeah, I look back with a lot of pride now, because I was under so much pressure. Because if I would have lost that match from 12-6, and the way I would have lost it, I mean, it would have been devastating, really. So you can imagine the pressure, and yeah, I couldn't have really played the rack any better, really. Played a couple, one amazing shot under the circumstances, and managed to hold myself together after that. Because it's trust me, when you're in that much pressure, and you can't feel your hands and your feet, anything's possible. You can miss anything. So that one particular rack is the one rack what really stands out the most in my career, and the one rack what I'll probably be remembered for the most. So anyway, I thought I'd share it with you, and yeah, thanks for watching. We will see you for the next one.